Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new on my channel, then welcome. Now for today's video, I wanted to talk to you about foundations. I feel like foundation is just one of those things that is absolutely crucial in making a makeup look beautiful. You can have like the most nice eyeshadow look and the most perfectly carved out brows, but if like the base makeup looks kind of funky and your skin doesn't look like skin and it looks really heavy and cakey and makeupy and patchy, then it can kind of ruin the look completely. It's just very, very distracting, and I feel like having nice and even looking skin is one of the key points in having a very put together appearance. So that is why I wanted to share with you 5 of my most favorite foundations at the moment that I reach for almost every single day. But I also want to tell you guys about some foundations that I'm not too fond of, that kind of disappointed me in one way or another, or that I just do not ever reach for because they are not what I look for in a foundation, or they just don't go well with my skin. I know everyone does this, but I just quickly want to put out a disclaimer. When I say like 5 best and 5 worst foundations, it does not mean that these foundations that I call the worst are like shitty foundations, or that they are literally the worst foundations that are out there. I'm just saying that they are not what I look for, and also that they do not go well with my skin. So if you have similar skin to mine, or you're just looking for similar things in a foundation, then hopefully this part will kind of let you know what to steer clear from. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump into this video. I quickly want to recap on what my skin type is and also what I look for in a foundation, so that you would kind of know what to go on. So my skin type is dry, kind of normal to dry. During the summertime it's more normal, and then during winter it's quite dry. So usually I prefer kind of more moisturizing, luminous, dewy kind of foundations, but I also do not mind foundations that are kind of like soft matte or almost like a satin finish, that just look very, very natural on the skin. Normally I go for full coverage, but I also enjoy medium coverage at times. I don't normally go for sheer coverage just because I have quite a bit of redness in some areas, and also I have like blemish spots and those kinds of things. But even then, I still like the foundation to look like skin, or kind of very, very healthy and radiant. I don't like something that's like completely matte and just, you know, looks like a mask on. And I definitely look for long wearing foundations, simply because I'm not the type to do touch-ups throughout the day. It's not really my thing. I don't enjoy doing it, and I just kind of can't be bothered. I want to put my makeup on in the morning, and then I want it to stay on my face for the whole day. That's what my skin is like, and that's what I look for in a foundation. So now we can jump into my favorites and my least favorites. Now the first foundation is, I'd say, my number 1 foundation at the moment. I just reach for it the most often. It's just so nice all over, and it's actually the foundation that I'm wearing at the moment as well. It is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear. Mine is in the shade Vanilla, and this is definitely my summer shade, because right now I am way more tan than I normally am. As you can clearly see, this is not like a fair shade by any means, so I have no idea why they have named it Vanilla. The reason why I have been going for this so much lately is simply because it makes my skin look incredibly gorgeous. This is one of those foundations that gives you a luminous, kind of radiant look. I mean, I do have a dewy setting mist on my face as well, but even on its own, it has a slight glow to it. Just this kind of very, very natural radiance. Coverage wise, this is like high, medium to full coverage. You can absolutely build this up. This is beautiful to build up. Even if you build it up, it never looks cakey, it never looks heavy, it never looks makeupy. I don't really know anyone who would like to wear foundation for 24 hours, so I don't know if that claim actually has any merit. But what I can say is that this is a very long-lasting foundation. For instance, my foundation, or well, my whole makeup has been on my face for like, I'd say 10 hours now. It's still holding up fairly well. And I mean, it's from the drugstore. It's beautiful, it's amazing. I don't know what they did to this formula, but L'Oreal really, really hit the nail on the head with this one. Now, next up is something that is very, very similar to the L'Oreal Infallible foundation, especially in the kind of finish that it leaves, but it is even more affordable. This is the Catrice 24-Hour Made to Stay Makeup. This is in the shade Ivory Beige. This is clearly way too light for me at the moment. As you can see, there's quite a shade difference. So this is what I am normally when I'm kind of in my normal fair or light shade, so to say. This fits me perfectly. I'd say like the undertone and everything is very, very close to my skin tone. Some of you may know that the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation has been my holy grail from the drugstore for quite a long time. And I haven't really talked about this one at all. And I don't know why I haven't talked about this more. I don't know what it does to my skin, but it just makes it so luminous and radiant yet again. As I said, it's kind of similar to the L'Oreal Infallible foundation. I don't know, it's funny to me. They say on the bottle that it is mattifying. I don't think that it is. It still has that kind of radiance or kind of the same kind of glow that the Infallible foundation has. So I don't know what they're talking about mattifying. I can't really say anything new about it because, as I said, it is very, very similar to the L'Oreal Infallible foundation. This one is just a bit cheaper. I love both of them. Just this is my summer shade, so right now I strive towards this much, much more than I do this, but it's really, really good as well. Now, next up is a foundation that I have used several times in my videos, but I don't think that I've really talked to you about it. But this is the Wet n Wild Photofocus foundation, and mine is in the shade Golden Beige. I also have one that is in the shade Soft Ivory, I believe, and it is very, very, very light compared to this at least. And normally, the Soft Ivory one is too light for me even when I am my palest, but during those times I just mix the two together. But in the summertime when I am more tan, the shade Golden Beige is perfect. Now, this is one of those foundations that I would say is a comfortable matte. This is definitely not like a radiant foundation. It doesn't give you that glowy finish. It definitely dries down to a matte finish. It's just one of those like demi-matte finishes. This one gives me full coverage. Also, I feel like this one does oxidize a tiny bit, but not like dramatically that you would see a totally different shade on the face. This is one of those foundations that I put on when I know that I have a special event to go to, or that I know that I want my makeup to last the whole day. This is kind of fail-proof. Sadly, I cannot wear this like too many days in a row because I'm pretty sure that this one breaks me out when I do wear it too many days in a row. If I wear it like every once in a while, it's absolutely fine. Other than that, it is super affordable, as we all know. I believe it's like $5.99 in the States or something like that. This is amazing, even without a primer. This will last on your face. It will make you look flawless. It will go over all of your imperfections. I just love this. I feel like I have to give this honorable mention. You're probably sick of hearing me talk about this, but the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage is such a beautiful foundation from the drugstore as well. It is also kind of similar to the Wet n Wild Photofocus that I was just telling you about. That's why I wanted to kind of smoothly talk about this one quickly as well. It lasts on the face an unholy amount of time, even without a primer. It looks so stunning. It is incredibly opaque. This is mattifying, but again, it's not one of those mattifying foundations that would kind of suck all the moisture out of your skin. Even if you have dry skin, you can absolutely get away with this. This is more like a serum foundation, I feel. It is much more lightweight in texture, much more kind of creamy and glidey. This one definitely feels a bit more thick. Even though this one feels like it's lighter, it definitely packs a punch, and it also covers everything and is super buildable as well. Just as a warning though, these do have quite a strong scent to them, both of them. I'd say that the Wet n Wild one is kind of worse. It has a stronger scent to it. It smells more like paint, kind of, yeah, very, very chemically, and it's definitely something that needs getting used to. If you're someone who has very, very sensitive skin, or you just cannot do fragrances in foundation at all, then this will probably not be perfect for you. I mean, the same goes with the Catrice one. It is also very, very scented, but it's not like a paint kind of scent. It's just more like perfumey, I guess. Smells like baby powder a bit. So I don't know, they both have a scent to them, but at the same time, I don't feel like these linger on my face, so I don't really mind. But yeah, just wanted to put it out there just in case it is important to you. I just quickly want to give an honorable mention for this one as well, because it is my absolutely favorite, hands down favorite high-end foundation. It is the NARS Sheer Glow foundation. As you can tell, it is again one of my favorites because I've kept it in its box. Mine is in the shade Dovey. Oh my god, did I tell you the shades for the other ones? Oh, I didn't tell you the shade for the HD liquid coverage. Oh my god, I suck at this. My summer shade in the HD liquid coverage one is 30 Sand Beige, but my kind of wintry shade is 10 Light Beige. Anyway, back to the NARS Sheer Glow. This is stunning. Now, one thing that I want to make clear straight off the bat is that do not be fooled by the name of this foundation. It is not sheer and it is not glowy by any means. I'd say that this is medium buildable coverage. You can build it up to a full coverage, definitely. And this is more like a satin finish. It kind of gives you that natural look again, more kind of on the matte side even. I have no idea why they decided to give this foundation that kind of name, but I know that it confuses quite a lot of people. Beside the name, everything about this foundation is perfection. It looks like skin on your skin. It also lasts a very long time, and it just kind of washes over everything seamlessly. So if I feel like wearing a high-end foundation over my Wet n Wild or my HD liquid coverage or my L'Oreal, then this is definitely the one that I turn to. Hands down, high-end, holy grail. This is the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation, and mine is in the shade Warm Nude. This is again one of those that I can only wear in the summertime when I have more of a tan. As I have grouped together the foundations that I feel are kind of similar, this again is similar to the NARS Sheer Glow in a sense. Again, this is on the comfortable matte side, so I'd say this is like a demi-matte finish. This, I'd say, is not as full coverage as Sheer Glow is. You can definitely build this up, but I'd say it's more like medium coverage. This one also has two huge bonuses. The first one being that it is transfer proof. I have seen quite a few foundations claim that they are transfer proof, but in actuality, they still transfer. This one, without setting it with powder, without having any kind of gripping primer or something like that underneath, it just stays on the face and it truly does not transfer. And the second thing is that you get quite a lot of product. You get almost twice as much as a normal foundation. Well, not twice as much, but like 1.5. This is 48 ml or 1.6 fluid ounce. It has this chemical peachy kind of scent to it. It is incredibly strong, but again, I don't feel like it lingers throughout the whole day. Other than that, I love everything else about this foundation, and it truly looks so amazing and it holds up great and it's good stuff. My last favorite foundation at the moment is the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. As you can see, again, it's in its box. Now, first things first, this one is again in the shade Dovey, number 4, as is the Sheer Glow. But these two shades, even though they are supposed to be the same, are not the same. I think the camera is picking it up even from this. This one is much more neutral undertoned. This one looks a lot more yellow. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. If you have one or the other in a specific shade and you want to buy one or the other, don't just go off from the same shade that you already own, because they might not be the exact same match. This is actually what the name suggests. It really is a naturally radiant foundation, and this one also comes with a pump. So yeah, a bit of an upgrade. I wouldn't say that it dries down completely, and since it doesn't dry down completely, this one is not transfer proof. What I love about this is that a little goes such a long way, such a long way. I normally use 3 drops for my whole face, and I remember like the first time when I got this, I was kind of thrown off because when you pump this out, so little comes out. This little thing is a full pump. But then once you go to kind of blend it out, it goes so far because this is so highly pigmented and it spreads so easily. And I feel like it also makes the price much more friendly, even though this is a bit more pricey, considering that you have to use so much less product. You will probably, I don't know, go through this in about a couple of months versus this one, which as you're pouring it out and it's much more liquidy, you will probably go through much quicker. Okay, so now that we have been here for 45 minutes already, we have gone through all the good foundations, but now we get to the ones that I kind of suggest you do not waste your money on. The first one is actually something that I had high hopes for at the beginning, but then the more and more I tried it, the less and less I liked it. It is the e.l.f. oil-free SPF 15 sunscreen foundation. I cannot actually, sorry. This is definitely a demi-matte kind of foundation. It does not dry down completely, but it is more on the matte side. When you first try and kind of even it out on the skin, this is so tacky and streaky. I cannot for the life of me get this foundation to look even and nice on my skin. It's almost as if it doesn't want to sink into the skin properly, so it just kind of sits on top of it. It gives you like a sheer coverage to maybe a low medium, but if you try and build this up, it just won't. It's really not a buildable foundation. This is not also very long lasting, as it doesn't even like sit on the skin properly in the first place. Oh, and to top it off, this smells so strong. When I said that some of the other foundations had a strong scent to them, it is just like an initially strong scent, and once you apply it on the face and wear it throughout the day, the scent vanishes. With this one, however, it does not vanish. The smell of this lingers on your skin, and I can just smell my face throughout the whole day, and it drives me nuts. I do think that e.l.f. has some great stuff, and the price point is so right. This one is just not worth it, and also you don't even get a full ounce in this one. You get 20 ml or 0.68 fluid ounce. So yeah. Now the next foundation I'm actually so sad to talk about because I really wanted to make this work for me. This is the Tarte Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Foundation, and mine is in the shade Fair Sand. There's just something in this formula that does not sit well on my skin. So as this is a moussey kind of texture, this gives you a natural matte finish, which is very typical of moussey foundations, I find. For me, this just kind of sits weirdly on the skin. It's kind of the same thing with the e.l.f. foundation. It doesn't sink into my skin properly. Also, I feel like it's just way too drying on me. I'd say that if you are more so on the oily side or combination skin, or even if you're like normal skin, then maybe you will like this more, but on dry skin, this just does not look very flattering. However, I don't want to be that harsh, and there are a few bonuses to this foundation as well. First of all, this has 50 ml of product, or 1.7 fluid ounces. So again, you get like almost twice as much foundation as you would in a normal 30 ml or 1 fluid ounce. And also this does not have a scent. So it's very nice for those of us who do not like perfumed foundations. Now the third one is again one of those that just breaks my heart that I have to include this in this video, and that I have tried to make work for me for so long. This is the Physicians Formula The Healthy Foundation, and mine is in the shade LN3. Does it have a name? No, it does not. I think it's Light Neutral 3. I think that's what it means. I know that a lot of people love this foundation, and I have seen so many rave reviews about this. So I picked it up, and then I don't really enjoy it at all. Which is really sad. This is more of a natural kind of foundation. It does not give you too much coverage. It's like sheer to medium, I'd say. But the reason why I do not like this foundation, well, first of all, the main thing is that it does not want to stay on my face. It wears off so incredibly quickly. I feel like every single time I even like touch my face the slightest bit, it comes off straight away. When I wear this foundation, I swear to God, I can smell my face throughout the whole day. I don't know what this smells like, but this is again one of those scents that lingers throughout the day. I'm also actually not a fan of the applicator as well. I feel like it's not the most hygienic, and also I do not get the most product out with this. It's so weird, and it just takes me forever to get the foundation on my skin, and then it doesn't want to stick to my skin, and then it smells bad. Sadly, this is a pass. Now, the next foundation I want to brush over quickly because I have talked about these foundations, I'm sure. These are the Fit Me Luminous and Smooth foundations. Dewy and Smooth or something like that in the States. But yeah, the ones that we have over here are called Luminous and Smooth. These ones are by Maybelline. I mean, the Fit Me range is very, very well known. I have two shades because the shade range that we have over here is again so crappy. 110 is the lightest shade that we have in stores, and that is way too light for me. And the next shade is 120, which is way too dark for me, at least in winter. So I just mix the two together. This is so dewy that it literally slides on my face. It just slides around and it makes me look like a grease ball. They are so dewy, they actually make your face itch. Like every single time I put them on, I feel like I want to scratch the living hell out of my face. It's too much and it doesn't look flattering anymore. It just looks like you are super oily or super sweaty or something like that. It is not the most long-lasting formula because it doesn't stick to the face. The only reason why I still have them or why I keep them at hand is because when I mix them with the Fit Me Matte and Poreless, I feel like that is the perfect combination. So I just wish that they had some kind of mixture of those two formulas because that is perfect. That is absolutely perfection. Last but not the least is the YSL All Hours foundation. I have a full-on review about this foundation, so if you want to see it, I will link it on the screen and also list it in the description box. This gives you a demi-matte finish, and I'd say it's a high-medium coverage. However, this oxidizes quite a bit. I mean, it doesn't oxidize too drastically, but I'd still say that it oxidizes like 1 or 2 shades. The texture is one of those thick and goopy ones again that I'm not really a fan of. It's kind of similar to the e.l.f. oil-free foundation that I was talking about before. It reminds me of that a bit. This one definitely sets down more and adheres to the skin, but I just do not like the way that it sets down on the skin. Also, if you have tried YSL products before, I'm sure you are familiar with this, but every single YSL foundation, as far as I know, has very strong perfume in it. So yeah, again, something that I just am not a fan of. All in all, I just don't feel like it is worth its price tag because this is not cheap. Save your money. If you want to get a good high-end foundation, go for one of the NARS foundations, for instance. They are absolutely amazing. So yeah, just don't waste your money on this. Okay, this definitely took way longer than I initially anticipated. It is currently 11 minutes past 1, so yeah, it's definitely way past my bedtime and I started filming way too late. But yeah, that was the whole video. Let me know what your current favorite foundations are. Also, it would be super helpful if you left your skin type down below so that, you know, we would have more context. So yeah, it'd be super cool to see what you guys like and what you don't like, and you know, we can talk about it. I am struggling so hard to talk and make any kind of sense at the moment. So yeah, I should really wrap this up. If you enjoyed this video, then please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That would help me out so much. And also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because it's just so great to see that we are constantly growing and we are almost at 3,000 subscribers, which is like so incredibly cool. So yeah, I would really love it if you join my little family over here in YouTube. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.